Welcome to the episode of Flicks and Kicks.
What up?
Hey, my man. So we done kind of teased the people with this.
This one's been in the works for a minute.
You know what I'm saying? We were over here getting our hee on.
Man, you gave it away.
You know?
See,
Hey, the little move.
Man, the way he was hitting that shit in the movie. Yes! I can't imagine at the time when he hit that shit for the first time, man, the world must have collapsed once he hit that shit.
I mean, bro, they did it perfectly when they showed the girls over there passing out.
Man, we already talking about it, so we don't even gotta really say what the topic is. But I guess we'll just make it official anyway. We not just getting into the Michael Jackson movie. You know, everyone got the review out by now. That movie came out April 24th.
Man,
we a little late to the party. You know, Hunter caught it 2 weeks ago, and I was finally able to watch it with my mom last week.
With the exactly.
And we can not only wait to talk about this, but we want to just say respectfully to the critics, that Rotten Tomatoes score.
You're wrong.
That Rotten Tomatoes score is bullshit. That's
you're
what the confines of this video gonna be. We arguing on behalf of Michael Jackson fans that score wrong, bruh. Like I got the score. Should I say the score right now?
Go ahead, brother.
39%.
39?
39. Not even 40? That's an ugly rotten. Because, you know, you need a 60% to be certified fresh. It wasn't even close. 20% off. 21% off. I know, you know, movies subjective, you know, different strokes for different folks. But I'm sorry. That Rotten Tomatoes score, that's good clout.
It's atrocious.
That's terrible, bro. Like, no matter how much studios say publicly, we don't care what the critics say. They do care what the critics say, because when you market your movie, you want to be able to say during the marketing, it was a certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. That's just better for business, for the casuals. When people see, oh, that's a good score, I'll go check that out. I don't think this score did that movie justice, bro. I really don't.
Okay, where you want to start with this?
Let's start with fan enjoyment, because that's what it's about. That's what it's about, in my opinion. It's about the theater experience. A theater experience enhances a movie. Infinity War was great, but what made it greater? The audience's reactions and big moments. This movie had that. It felt like I was in a concert.
Literally the whole movie.
Yes, bro. From when he was a baby singing along to the Jackson 5 to when he first performed Beat It, was crafting
his solo tours.
Yes, bro. Every time, first of all, you actually got to see what fans were like during Michael Jackson's time. Just how much of a rock star he was, bro.
See, and this is where the fan base was not wrong. Because me and my mom, you know, my family, we loved Michael. When it came down to when my mom used to say women fainted.
They fainted, bro.
I thought she was just clowning me like,
right. It's like,
stop the cap.
You just talking, man.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, lying.
Okay. They fainted all over.
I mean,
security had to carry girls out.
Michael had even the men dropping.
He had the men crying, bro. He had grown men in the crowds crying. Not only that, he had gang members, Crips and Bloods, begging for autographs.
I mean, being in the same room, forgetting about
forgetting their beef, forgetting losses each side was taking for 2 hours just to watch this man dance. And when he was hitting the dance move, they're like, oh shit. They were glazing MJ, gang members. That's how much clout he had. Every audience loved Michael Jackson. The woman, grown men, gang members, grandmas, grandpas, kids, monkeys, apparently.
I mean, his giraffe.
Yes, giraffes. It didn't matter who you were. Once Michael stepped in, I mean, they even touched on at the time, MTV didn't really market black people like that. They had to market MJ.
They had to.
That's too much money left off the table. Just imagine if they never put Beat It or Thriller on MTV. Just imagine how different MTV would be.
I mean, Thriller alone was crazy for us.
Yes.
I'm glad on how they even emphasized on how he wanted to make that whole thing perfect.
That's what I think the critics missed with this. How the behind the scenes, the creativity MJ had this movie captured. Just with Thriller, like you said, the original shot that the movie showed was just going to show the upper body MJ wanted the camera to back up so they can capture the full body so the audience could feel the full dance moves.
Exactly.
It's the little details like that MJ understood. And then
which now, if you think about it, to this day, people are still trying to do that dance.
They are, bro. To this day. It's 2026. Thriller was made in the early 80s. And it's still that big. I saw it had 7 billion views on YouTube.
Jesus.
7 billion. There's like 8 billion people in the world, bro. Probably more.
Jesus.
But still, that's MJ. He's the biggest artist. Not only did this movie capture, of course, the hits, it captured the creativity into making those hits.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny because it's like outside of music, MJ was he was a unique guy. You know, he had his animal fascination. He didn't really get a real childhood, so he's still like reading kid books. They referenced Neverland a couple times. They ain't going to deep. Maybe that's why the critics were mad. They didn't really go into detail about. They hinted at some of him not really having a childhood, so we found a childhood through his animals.
Yeah.
Through the books.
Or like visiting the sick kids.
The sick kids, yeah. So they hinted at it. They didn't dive into it. Like you even said that.
Yeah, I think that was my issue.
I think that's a big thing I saw that the critics didn't.
Yeah, because I mean that does. I'll give them that where it's fair on
enough.
not going deep onto the story because it almost felt like you said. Like a concert, the whole
It
movie.
did, which was great for MJ fans. If you were an MJ fan, you could have loved this shit, and nostalgia overload is good. I was singing along to the songs in the theater, I can't lie.
I mean, hey man, you can't not just sit there.
I couldn't help myself, bro.
They're playing hits too? Come on,
when I heard why? Tell me, man, I was singing that shit.
Hey, I was over there. Tell me.
Yes, bro.
Oh no.
Why? Because I want it this way. Oh, man. When I heard the beat, man, come on, bro. I was singing along word for word.
The whole time, like I said, when he was even doing his performances, you could tell the dances, and he would create all this stuff. I mean, I wish they showed more on his creation of when he made the moonwalk.
I wish they did show that too.
His little.
I want to see because I know he didn't just hit the moonwalk on stage. That just. Spontaneously, there was some behind the scenes to that shit.
I mean, he's a perfectionist.
He is.
So that
everything he does, anything he watches, he kind of crafted an idea into how he was going to incorporate that in a music video.
Mm-hmm.
Like one time, he was watching some horror movies, and he crafted that into Thriller,
which was insane because he did that. Oh, I need to do this right now.
Yes, bro. You saw just the urgency of when he had an idea, how quick he was to write it down, attack it, and bring that shit to life.
And I the one thing I will say that I wish they kind of enhanced a little bit more, but they didn't do bad on, was his creativity as far as the performance part. Because that was another thing that's
like when you do a concert, you usually do like a rehearsal and shit like that.
Yeah,
they didn't really do rehearsals for his concert.
Yeah, it's that
kind of jumped in.
Was like that, and it's also where, like, okay, his music was one of the best things. If not the greatest things ever. Yes. But like I said before, he also was so much on his performance as far as his dances, the choreography, like everything. I feel like they only
detail oriented.
Yeah, I feel like they only did that once for the Thriller movie or Thriller video.
Right.
Outside of that, I don't think they kind of.
And I felt they could have even went deeper into Michael Jackson the person because he almost came off as Mother Teresa in this movie. Everyone knows Michael Jackson was a complex dude.
Yeah.
He was very complex. Very. Yeah, we know. Yeah, the stuff they show in the movie, yeah, by all accounts, that was true. Michael was obsessed with animals, and again, reading the books, because he never got a childhood. Yeah, we get all that. They ain't captured. Could they have captured how complex of a person he was more? Mm-hmm. Yes, they could have. They absolutely could have. Don't get me wrong. It felt like a big focus of this movie was him and his pops' relationship.
Well, we'll call it somewhat of a relationship.
That's why I stuttered, because I'm like, should I call the relationship? Because
it really wasn't.
It felt more like an unequal business relationship. That's what it was. Joe was called what it is. He saw the Jacksons as his meal ticket.
Yep.
That's really what it was. I mean, he even told them as kids, do you want your dad to work in a factory the rest of his life? He saw the Jacksons as his opportunity to get out of working in a factory.
Yeah.
But once they finally did that and became successful, that wasn't good enough for Joe.
For him, he wanted to kind of milk it as long as he wanted.
He wanted to milk it. He didn't want to stop the watches, the big old houses, all the stuff that came with what specifically Michael provided. That's why in the movie, when he agreed to let Michael go be solo, he said his ass is still mine from 9 to 5. I'm still getting a piece of this.
Yep. Which was, like we said before, it's crazy. This man put him on a time clock.
Yes.
A 9 to 5.
He put his son on a 9 to 5.
Yo, that is crazy.
He made his son clock in. And
they were like,
out.
oh yeah, he can work with y'all.
Yeah.
But he gonna be with me for 9 to 5.
Yes, bro.
Crazy work.
They really captured how selfish his dad was. He was.
Yeah, at some point you can kind of see where he's doing it for the benefit of the kids and, the family.
Exactly.
But at some point...
he became entitled.
Exactly. Talking about, I built this.
Yeah.
You singing what verse?
Exactly. I remember telling my mom throughout the movie, everything his dad has is because of Michael. I think his dad was jealous. He became jealous of his son's success. Because the whole thing about the Jacksons is he wanted the Jacksons to be the big time brand. But when people thought about the Jacksons, they didn't think about the Jacksons. They thought of Michael. Exactly. It didn't become about the Jacksons. It became about Michael, and Joe couldn't stand that.
Which is crazy because that's still, at the end of the day, your son who's making the whole family
son.
rich.
Exactly. If Michael's successful, the Jacksons are successful.
Exactly.
It's still going to say Michael Jackson.
Exactly. You see the Jackson at the end there?
You'll still get if his pops just played ball and went along for the ride, he would have made a lot more money.
Because Jackson was not the stingy type to be.
Yes, Jackson provided for his family.
Exactly.
He embraced providing for others. That was his personality. Maybe to a fault with some of the.
Well, I mean, when you make the FU money.
He made FU. I mean, he was ordering giraffes. That's how much.
Exactly.
He was renting out grocery stores so he could shop there alone to feel like a normal
You're being
person.
graceful. This man did that to shopping centers and malls.
Movies, theaters.
Yeah, he would... Oh, let me just rent out the whole theater for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
See, that you gotta do the soft talk.
I
just wanted to come and see the movie, guys.
I want to do is hello. I don't want to be bothered. That's one thing. His nephew captured his voice.
Yeah, his nephew, I think, was almost like another thing that I think they almost downplayed. He played the hell out of Michael.
He played the hell out of his uncle, bro.
I mean, that was...
He played a great Michael. That's another thing the critics I don't think gave enough credit. Jakar Jackson did a hell of a job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought he was his uncle.
He really did. Like, I think that kind of performance opened up doors for him if he wants to be in the acting business.
It definitely did.
What you did on there was
perfect.
Perfect.
And you have to think, he didn't get that much time around probably his uncle like that. Because he's 29. MJ died in 2009, 2010, right?
Yeah, somewhere around that time.
Yeah, so that means he was only like, I'm not good at math, but he was probably only like, so he's 29, it's 26. So he was born in around probably 1997, 98. That means he was only about 10, 12 years old when Michael died. So he probably didn't, he was a kid. There's so much shit as a kid you don't remember vividly. So he probably didn't get a whole lot, even though Michael has a distinct ass voice. So if that's your uncle and you were around him, you probably...
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, their whole family has that. Because even Janet, soft voice is very nice.
That's another thing. Janet wasn't in the movie. We know Janet...
She is the baby, though.
She's the baby, but it's interesting because Michael, by all accounts, her and Janet were the
closest.
Had the
most deepest connection.
They had the deepest relationship. And
so that is true.
It was kind of a hole that his other sister was in there, but not Janet.
I mean, like I said, though, Janet was the baby.
She was the baby, yeah.
That one, and they did say, there's going to be more in the continue.
Maybe that's another thing. I don't think any of us knew this was a part one.
Yeah, I don't think anyone knew that.
Yeah.
So. I will say, though, with this, all with, the recent child stuff, they had to... That? They had to find a way to add that, and then the whole Sony information too, I want to see about that.
I ain't gonna lie. When Michael was interacting with kids at any point during the movie, did you hold your breath? I held my breath
I ain't
at
gonna
every
lie.
scene they had him interact with kids. I was like, please don't go.
See, no, it was more awkward when he was talking about Netherland
Yeah,
with the kids.
I hated the Neverland. I won't say hated it, but I was uncomfortable.
'Cause,
with
like-
Neverland references.
Like with the kids, I'm fine with
Right.
it. That's cool. Like I'm used to that with Michael. Like when I grew up, that was what I saw a lot of.
Right.
So that didn't bother me. But it was him reading Peter Pan to little kids.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but the allegations that you had to
it's
fight
like-
even when you were dead.
Yeah, literally to his deathbed, he had to fight that.
Exactly. That's they made sure that felt awkward.
It did feel awkward because my theater was silent. Silent anytime a Netherland reference was made.
And there were so many.
There was
Why
a
was there
lot.
so
That's
many?
why I felt the movie wanted. Of course, the Jackson family was. They had the shots of how this movie was put out, so they weren't going to go into detail about the Netherlands shit. But boy, did they throw hints.
A lot.
A lot of hints throughout the movie.
I just wish they had talked about Sony and how he had to fight to get his freaking records back.
He did it. He had to fight hard. They kind of made even they had to fight for the MTV shit too.
Yeah.
So they kind of hinted at some of the barriers MJ had to break, even in the 80s.
Shoot, I even want them to show when he bought the Beatles
Oh
record.
yeah, he did buy the Beatles record.
Like that was some of Michael's biggest milestones that he did, where that made him one of the richest people in the business.
Literally. That's what really catapulted him in terms of of course he was making stupid money.
Well, I think they
before.
did kind of emphasize.
I also
something
wanted
about
them
the
to hint
Beatles.
at his kind of falling out with Prince. We know him and Prince did not fuck with each other. They were kind of like the top dogs in what they did at the time.
Yeah.
It would have been cool if they kind of hinted at the professional rivalry him and Prince had.
Well, knowing Prince and how he works,
Yeah.
his family gonna get paid for even
Oh yeah,
putting
they
his
wanted
name
him
in
back.
that.
Yeah, that's a good.
You know Prince.
Because you gotta realize you gotta deal with the estates.
Yeah, because Prince was doing the same thing Michael was doing.
That's
He was
what I'm
fighting for
saying.
his records.
They did a lot of the same shit.
So even adding, like I said, adding his name, saying his name,
yeah, that's good.
saying Purple Rain.
Oh man,
that brother better get paid.
That's gonna cost some money.
His whole family gonna get rich.
Oh yeah, it's like we at least gonna need 100,000
Exactly.
a piece.
So yeah, I see why they didn't
That's
do that.
fair. I actually understand that. That makes sense. Fair enough. But it's like some things that they scratched the surface and could have gone deeper. They could have.
Yeah.
If critics will say that, fine. But for a biopic, did it do its job of capturing the magic of what made Michael perfectly?
Yes.
Perfectly. Again, like you said, it wasn't just a performance. It was the vision. It was the creativity. It was the work ethic.
I mean, he was one of very few that had that.
And it really showed how much of a prodigy he was. Dude was in the studio at 9 years old getting told, you have the smoothest voice I've heard in my life.
Over there really learning what this does and how to pitch the voice. And come on now.
They even hinted that he had like a feel for dancing at a young age. They kept telling him in the studio when they were recording, yo, can you stop moving? You're just going to stop moving.
So yeah,
I think
before we go, what would your rating be for Rotten Tomatoes if you were making that?
I would give this a 72%. I would give this a solid 70s. This was a certified fresh to me. Was this the greatest biopic ever? No, I would say that if we're talking hip hop, I would say that straight out of Compton. However, was this one of the most entertaining biopics, and did it capture the person they portrayed in terms of what they advertised, in terms of how revolutionary their careers were? Yes. This captured that perfectly.
Yeah.
This captured the essence of Michael. This captured the aura he had. This captured... It didn't dive into fair enough, but it showed hints of kind of his unique personality, which helped kind of add a couple layers. Now, like you said, they could have gone deeper. Fair enough. But like you said, this felt like a 2-hour concert. The nostalgia trip Michael fans got to go. The hits that we got to see. The behind the scenes. It was just enjoyable. It was a fun film. Like, for a Michael fan like we are, I loved it for what it was as a biased Michael fan. Now,
Yeah.
if I turn off the lens and grade it for an overall movie, that's why it's only in the 70s for me. Because I felt there were some things they could have added more to. Just because, again, Michael was a complex person. They should have went deeper into some of the things about him. And even business-wise, like you said, the Beatles record, they should have mentioned that.
Yeah.
So there were some things you wish they pointed out to just beyond the casuals, just so they could have saw more into who he was, personally and business-wise. But for what the movie was, it was entertaining.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I do like your rating. It is a lot higher than what they gave.
Way higher.
I would honestly give it a 78.
Okay, so we're both in the 70s.
I think it's honestly close to an 80 for me. My biggest nitpicks were, like I told you, they didn't dive a little deeper into Michael's story.
Yeah,
as
because
far
at
as
times
his,
it felt like it was Michael and Joe's story.
exactly, or Michael and them.
Yeah.
And I want to say them as, you know,
His
Jackson
brother.
5 and all them
Yeah.
because
his brothers felt so overshadowed.
yeah, but they didn't even mention who is who. Like,
That's what I'm saying. There were no names.
Exactly,
ever mentioned. They made it very obvious. Yeah, they were just the Jacksons. Michael was the name.
Exactly. So like
It was
there
Michael
was
and
some
Joe.
stuff that I thought it was a little bit that was not told. Even like you said, I wish they went deeper into the business part of it. They kind of did with him talking about having to
Break
Or
away
when-
from his pops.
that, and then also when they're where Michael was saying he wants to, and for him to be where he wants to be, he can't just be a black fan base. He wants the world to know.
That's
him.
what I'm saying. He wanted to be a
And
global star. And
exactly.
He knew that wasn't going to happen.
MTV was the perfect way he can do that.
Especially at that time. MTV is where stars were made.
Mm-hmm.
They had that
and they
machine.
did not put no black artists on there
No.
at all.
Mhm.
So that
It
I
showed
do
the
respect
barriers
that.
he braked, and that was dope to see.
Yeah, so I do respect that.
Yeah.
But like I said, bro, I just missed on where I was. It would have been so cool to understand how he went on
Right.
buying his own records.
No, exactly.
Because that was insane. When he actually had to do that.
Because that was unheard of at that time.
Mm-hmm. Because people, they always would sell their records to a label.
Right. The label had where the
Or
shot
yeah, they basically had all of the calls. And you're telling me an artist finally had the shot to be like, yeah, I want my stuff back.
Right.
And he actually had the power to do that.
Had the clout.
So that's something where I think they missed on. That is a huge thing you missed on.
I agree with that.
Even buying the Beatles, that
You think we
even
get
though
that
it
in
was-
part two?
you probably can. Because even with the Beatles story, that one was kind of quick. Where
It was.
I don't know if you know the story, but he basically like joked on buying it, and then literally the next day, or no, he went up to one of the Beatle members
Yeah.
and joked about buying it because he was like, "What if I bought it?" And they're like, "You're not gonna buy it. Stop it." And literally the next day,
Bought it.
that guy found out through his agent that Michael bought it.
Yep.
So that was like, that's one of those like you gotta
Could have showed
tell that.
not the org, but just the business sense. He had.
Exactly, of like, I would like to buy them.
Right.
You know, like,
What Michael wanted, he got.
oh yeah, he
There was no
bro,
stopping
he
him.
literally got everything he wanted.
Exactly. Michael's one of those people that he did not take no for an answer. You saw that in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He did not take no for an answer.
I mean, even in his first major interview with the business, you know, he is talking with everybody. The only person that is hearing Michael basically got the job. He said,
Exactly.
"Everyone else leave. Let me
No,
talk to him."
exactly. He said, "Yeah, I want that. That's my guy. Everyone else can get the fuck out." And
That's
they could-
how he was. That is the small stuff that I think they really nailed on. So I can't be mad.
How assertive he was. Yeah, he had that soft voice, but Michael commanded a room. And this movie captured that. For sure.
You know, pulling out an agent that I don't even think that whole firm actually wanted.
No, exactly. He was like the afterthought, which is crazy because he was already managing the Beatles. So he had some and that's part of it. He was the most assertive and confident one.
Yep.
And that's what drew, because Michael was the same. So two great minds think alike. And
Yep.
they both peeped that, and Michael was like, "Okay, I don't need the rest of y'all in here."
He's like, yeah, I'll just go and waste my time.
Exactly.
Get out of here.
Y'all, the rest of y'all can go.
You know, this is out of your pay grade. so-
Exactly. Way above your pay.
Exactly. But shoot, bruh, is there anything else you want to talk about before we head on out of here? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You know?
Said it all, bro. I think we covered this to a T, man. Respectfully to the critics, y'all were tripping.
Yeah, you wrong.
39% is crazy. I'm sorry.
You were tripping.
Come on, bro. Yes, they could have dove in deeper than the shit, but come on, you can't tell me y'all weren't in that. Y'all weren't in there singing. Y'all can't tell me that.
What he said.
Come on, man. At the end of the day, enjoyment matters, and this was an enjoyable fucking film. Come on.
This is one of those where even when it's out of the theater, you're still gonna watch this.
Exactly. Oh, for sure.
So that's how I see this.
That's another thing I like about this movie. It's rewatchable.
Mm-hmm.
I'll definitely rewatch this several times when it drops on stream.
Yep.
Easy.
So, all right, my man. We're gonna go ahead and start with this starting five.
Yeah,
it's very, very simple, y'all. If you were watching from the very beginning to the end, you gotta subscribe.
One click of a button.
You know, it's literally for free. You know what I'm saying?
You know what else is for free? That like by it. That beautiful thumb. That gray. Sometimes
I mean, it's right by it.
Right by it. One click. Doesn't cost a thing.
And then the other one is to make sure they comment down below.
Gotta hit up those comments, bro. Tell us your favorite parts of the Michael movie. Your favorite song.
And if the critics was right to you, please explain yourself.
On the other side of the coin, if you agree with the critics or even thought it was worse than what the critics gave it, please go beat up the comment sections and let us know. We want to know y'all's thoughts on this, bro.
I mean, when I hear that 39, it reminds me of the Ali movie that Will Smith did.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. He tried it. Even had the cut and everything. You saw with the cut. Oh, man.
What's that cover of him?
Yeah. It's like, bro, that looks like Will Smith playing Ali.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Now, it's very, very simple, though. They gotta hit that bell.
Ding, ding. Yes, sir.
As you say, if you're not first, you're last.
Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby.
And he won at the end of that movie. Remember that.
Hey, come on now.
Come on. Even if he had to jump out of his car because they got into a crash, he wanted it more. Folks gotta remember. And if you want it more, hit that notification bell so you can be first.
Exactly what he said.
Simple as that.
What's the other one, my guy?
You gotta follow the social medias, man.
What are they?
You got Instagram. You got TikTok. You got Letterboxd.
Which we're gonna have a review about this.
Have a review. Y'all stay tuned for that. We'll continue our MJ thoughts in more detail with our review on there. Y'all stay tuned for that. That'll be in the description box.
Exactly. What's the last one?
You try to trick me. I ain't going. I ain't going, bro. I'm well prepared for that.
Oh my God.
To set me up.
Oh my God. This man. Hey, all of my older people gonna remember this one. I ain't gonna do it. Do it for the fun. I ain't gonna do it.
You going old school, man.
Oh man. Hey, that's our viewers anyways.
For sure. You ain't lying about that.
You know what I'm saying? They gonna remember that one.
Hey, the old heads will capture that. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
That's simple.
We out, bro.
Peace out. Stay tuned.